How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to my garage 0 to Euro. So yeah, it has been another weekend, and guys, as you can see, we've been a little bit busy yet again. And yeah, well, I guess let me show you guys what is going on here on the back of our Ford F100. So as I said, I was having a look around at getting some wheels and tires for the Dodge Challenger, and these popped up on the marketplace. And we are going to try and see if we fit them, what they are going to look like on this car. But I also decided we are going to be lowering the suspension, the front and rear suspension on this car. So hopefully that is going to work out pretty well and look pretty nifty and pretty mean. So what we need to do today also is just install the door mirrors, which I kind of forgot in the last episode. And then this car would most probably be ready to rock and roll. So we are going to be running another auction on this car. So I think that's going to hopefully sell pretty good and, well, for, you know, a relatively decent amount of money. And yeah, we also got the lowering springs for the rear, these leaf springs. And then I've got the torsion bars for the front, which will also, you know, lower the car at the front so that it sits nice and level. Just a little bit lower. So we're going to see how this is going to work out. And on the back of the truck, we've got all of the other wheels and tires that I've also kind of figured out a couple of things with those and changed the tires and kept the good stuff and kind of got rid of all the bad stuff. And then this is going to be the wheel that we put in the trunk of the Dodge Challenger here as a spare tire. It's a little bit higher profile, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, it's just going to be for emergencies, you know. But we might see if one of those actually work better. We will maybe just drop one of those in the trunk. I don't know. Those almost look like a little bit of a better fit. So we'll see. It doesn't really matter. But all right, let's see if we lift this thing up, if we can actually get these wheels on. And hopefully the fitment's going to be all right and nothing's going to look too bad. So I guess we'll see. Let's quickly just go ahead and start with this. Let's just see. I think actually one of these would be better for a spare tire because that's almost the same. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, it's hard to find a proper 16-inch wheel that's, you know, spot on. Same profile as these big wheels that we are going to be slapping on here. Alright, so we need to try and see if we can pull those torsion bars out. Alright, starting with this one. I think we'll just do them one at a time. Alright, and then this is going to go over to our workshop. We'll just chuck it in the back of the truck here again. Alright, now we're going to pop this one in. And let's just see how much lower the car would sit. Yeah, I think that's going to look perfect. Alright, let's see here. Now, I had a comment that I should get some Kragers for the car, but yeah, I don't really know if that's going to be the best move here. But I think these will look pretty sick. So let me put all of them on first, and then we will stand back a bit and just take it all in and decide from there. Alright, let's get our leaf spring off here again. Alright, let's see. It's that one over there and then just the 4 over here on the U-bolts. Alright, and let's grab this. Alright, this is going to go straight onto the pickup truck here. Yeah, that's if you want to try and mix the word pickup and truck. Get weird words coming out of your mouth. Alright, let's put this onto there. And you can see that's actually gonna sit a little bit lower. Alright, let's see what this is gonna look like here. Yeah, I don't think we need spacers or anything. That is a perfect fit. Alright, let's just go ahead and bolt this down. Alright, and let's set it down. Let's quickly have a look at this thing. Yeah, let me get this out of the way. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Did I make the right choice? Or should we have rather gone for some muscle car wheels, you know, like more classic styles? So these are OZ Racing Futuras, and I think they look pretty decent on this car. But that's just my opinion, guys. I mean, the new owner could probably keep them on the car, or you could change it, or whoever buys the car, you know. Alright, let's get it lifted up on this side. And I think since we are kind of moving over that side, let's also do this real quick on here. just get our door mirrors on. Again, I will grab this one for the opposite side real quick. And there we go. That's all sorted in. Alright, I can actually put this screwdriver back now because we are done with that. Alright, let's get the wrench. Alright, let's go over to this side. Alright, let's get these old steelies off. I should probably also load these in the back of the truck. Alright, where's my pry tool? There it is. Okay, let me just pop this torsion bar out on this side. Yeah, this car's not going to be a great daily, if you ask me. It's going to be one of those kind of like custom, you know, like a thing that you would just have parked in your garage and it'll be nice to look at. If you know what I mean. It's not one of those cars I think anybody would want to daily drive as such, but I don't know. People sometimes, they can surprise you. Alright, let's take this last one off here. And then I should probably start loading these. Alright, so let's see. There's a last leaf spring needs to come off. I think it's that one over there. And there we go. Just get these all loosened up. And there we are. Right, did I... Yeah, I think I took the other torsion bar. Here we are. Okay, so that's the lowering spring in on this side. Let's just button everything up here. And then we will get this wheel mounted here. I think that looks pretty nifty. So yeah, you guys can definitely let me know down in the comment section. What do you think of the look that we went with for the Dodge Challenger here? I think it looks pretty sick. That looks pretty nice. I mean, it's got a pretty decent stance to it. And it also doesn't look like we're going to experience any problems in terms of rubbing and stuff like that. It looks pretty decent. So that is our Dodge Challenger now finally done. Ready to rock and roll. So we are going to be sending this car over to the auction and see if we can make some, you know, some of our money back that we spent on it. Hopefully a little bit extra as well. So yeah, I think we need to decide. We are gonna probably not use this one as a spare tire. Yeah, I think this is gonna go back to the workshop. And then I will just chuck one of the other wheels in the trunk that actually came off the car now. So that is going to be the spare tire for it. Alright, let me just load up these quickly and then we need to head back to the workshop. I am going to be taking the trailer with me. Because we are going to be going over to the junkyard today, guys. It's actually about time we started having a look at buying another new project now. And I'm thinking we're going to just go down there and check what Allman Ray has got. I did get in touch with him about a certain car. Because I bought a project vehicle over the weekend as well, guys. So it's kind of something that got wrecked. And we are now the proud owners of that car. So I think you guys might actually remember this car. You'll see it once we get back to the workshop here. Alright, I think let's just quickly pull forward a bit so that I can get the trailer hooked up. Alright, I think this should be more than enough space. Okay, we'll just leave it running for a second. Alright, let me get my trailer hooked up here. Alright, so we're going to be taking this with us because I might be picking up two cars and that way we can actually hook it up to the back of the Ram truck as well. And it's also going to be the first time we use this trailer since I changed the wheels on it. So hopefully these are going to work and not get destroyed. So yeah, let's just hope for the best. Alright, so everything is loaded, everything is ready to rock and roll, so let's get over to the workshop here. And, yeah, well, first of all, I gotta show you guys the car that I bought. Alright, but here we go, trailer is coming along. And, yeah, so it turns out, you guys know that on Sundays, these guys do a little bit of racing and drifting around the track here. That's kind of the reason why I had the fence put up. And one of the guys actually went tearing around the track. He's been actually doing it many times, you know, last couple of weeks. And yeah, yesterday there was just a tremendous crash, and I saw this car, and the guy actually, yeah, he couldn't do anything about it, so ended up leaving it at my shop. And then I got in touch with him this morning, and he said that the insurance was going to pay him out for the car, and we could actually buy it off of him. Well, off of the insurance company. Put me in touch with them, and I ended up buying it off of the insurance company, guys. So I think we're just going to park here for now, so that we are nice and out of the way with everything. I will fix this up a little bit later. I will sort it out. But yeah, this is the car. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is in fact the car from episode 3 that we did a little bit of work for a customer. So this was one of Emily's customers that brought his car in for some new wheels, and we also got the tires mounted on his old, from his old wheels. And we did a little bit of modifications to the engine, and I see he may have actually done a little bit more modifications. Yeah, we didn't do that performance cylinder head that this thing has got on, guys. So that is something a little bit additional. But yeah, clearly you can see the car had a little bit of an accident. He actually slid backwards into something. I don't know exactly where. I didn't see it. But yeah, we've got quite a bit of damage on this quarter panel, which is it's quite structurally totaled out at this stage. So fortunately, these cars are sort of easy to work on, so I'm thinking we are going to be able to fix this up. And for that, we are going to need ourselves a donor vehicle, which is where I want to come back to the story that I spoke about with a few guys about Ray down by the junkyard. So he has got a car that is going to be a suitable donor vehicle for fixing this thing up. So yeah, that is pretty much my idea. We're going to try and see if we can do this and start tearing into this car. So that is my plans. And yeah, in the workshop, as I said, we did a little bit of cleanup on the wheels and tires that were sitting there. So I want to build myself a engine, or well, not an engine rack, a tire rack. Yeah, walking past the engine here. We'll get to this in a bit, guys. I'm going to start tearing into this engine as well. But yeah, I want to build myself a tire rack for storing the tires on. And I might even do something like on that wall over there for some engines to be put on, because I want to start buying engines and rebuilding engines, and start getting ourselves situated with a lot of parts for future projects beforehand, before we're going to need them. So we are going to see if we can start doing that as well pretty soon here. Alright, so first of all, I need to load the toolbox in the ramp truck. We are going to be taking this with us to the junkyard. But first, I actually need to mount the winch, because 99% of the times when you buy a car from a junkyard, it doesn't run. So there's a very slight chance of a car running from the junkyard. So we are going to need ourselves a winch to winch the cars up onto the ramp truck. And I think our trailer is also equipped with a similar winch. So that's pretty good. Alright, let's just hop on here. See if I can quickly just get this thing bolted down here. And I think that should do the trick. Alright, so let's just put our wrench back in there. And hopefully we don't need the spare tire, because I think we're going to leave it here. Alright, so what I need to do now is probably get the truck pulled out, because we need to get the tow bar also transferred from the Ford F100 to this thing. And hope for the best that everything's going to work out pretty well for us today, and we don't cause any damage to our ramp truck or trailer, because this is going to be the first time that we are going to do this. Try and see if we can bring 2 projects in one go, which will be pretty cool if we can. Alright, so I'll just park up here for now. I think this should work. Yeah, I'm kind of winging it as we go. I haven't really planned this too well today. I do need to close the workshop, however. Alright, go ahead and do this. Alright, let's get our tow bar off of the Ford F100 and get it slapped onto this ramp truck at the back. Alright, so let's see. We need to, first of all, come on, disconnect the trailer. Alright, let me just see if I can get this thing maneuvered more or less in position behind the ramp truck as well. And we'll just set it down back here. Alright, yeah, there's a little bit of a bump there, but okay. Let's see if we can get this trailer hitch off of here. Alright, so just like this. Nice and simple, 2 bolts. Taking it off, and let's put it on the ramp truck here. Okay, just like this. Be sure to bolt it down properly, and then we can put our wrench back inside. Just like that. And now, I hope everything's going to go well. I am going to need a floor jack as well. Let me just grab the floor jack. Yeah, I almost forgot about this. So, fortunately, I did speak to Ray about if we found any projects. He said we can strip parts from other cars and such, just to, you know, make our lives a little bit easier in transporting the vehicles back to our workshop here. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. Okay, so we've got the load jack loaded. We've got the trailer hooked up. Everything looks pretty good. So I think we are ready to rock and roll. Make our way over to the junkyard. And just get there safely and not damage anything. That's kind of my main concern here. You know, towing a trailer with this long truck of ours, which is kind of like, yeah, I think this is pretty hectic, but okay. Let's just see how it goes. And guys, I'm going to put this drive over there in a little bit of a time lapse, so you guys can just sit back, relax, and then I will catch up to you guys once we get there. Alright, so guys, we are here at the junkyard yet again. So it has been a hot minute since we were here last. And I think before we go inside and talk to Ray, let's have a quick look around the cars parked outside here and just see what we might be interested in, along with the donor vehicle. Have you guys spotted it yet? So yeah, this is in fact the car that we spoke to Ray about. I see he's there reading his magazine. So this is a wagon. It's also a Lada platform, similar to the sedan that we have got back at the workshop now. And I think we are going to be converting that car into a wagon with the help of this donor vehicle over here. So this thing is kind of banged up here at the front, and it's got a terrible engine in it, which doesn't run, obviously, and we are missing a whole bunch of stuff, which I think is fine. We will be able to order those parts brand new. So this is going to be the first car that we take with us today. And the other one over here that we are very interested in is this Dodge Charger, guys, which is still here. And yeah, so this is going to be the one that we try and see if we can get some wheels on it from the other cars. I see there is a wheel sitting inside here. So yeah, we'll just do a little bit of negotiating with Ray and see if we can get this thing rolling. And then we're going to try and see how we're going to get everything back to the house, or, well, to the workshop for that matter. There's no point in taking this to the house. So yeah, we are going to be taking this to the workshop. And first I need to go and just negotiate a bit with Ray and figure out how much we're going to be paying for both these cards, guys. So I'll be right back once we know what's the story. And then the loading procedure is going to start and see how it goes. Alrighty, so there we go. That is sorted, guys. So we paid a total of 2,000 bucks for the little wagon over here. That is with everything that we get with it. And as for the charger over here, we paid a total of 5 grand for this, but we are allowed to strip parts off of the other vehicles here in order to get this thing rolling. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do this and see if we can figure this out and how we're going to do this. So that is why we've got our toolbox and our load jack, and it's going to help us just to get everything sorted here. So we paid the man 7 grand total for both these vehicles, which is definitely not bad if you ask me. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get this thing fixed up and looking a little bit better, if not perfect, because let's face it, that is what we're going to try and do here, is get this thing running and driving pretty well. Gonna get an engine rebuild for it. It comes with a bunch of parts inside the car as well, like this crusty old engine. And there's a rear view mirror for a... well, this isn't for this car. That's probably for a Mercedes, similar to this one over here. Alright, let's just chuck that into there. Alright, let's get to work and sorting out this thing a little bit so that it actually sits a little bit better. Alright, so we are missing the torsion bar on this car, but I did notice this car's got some on at the front. And we do actually have some of these parts back at the shop as well, which we could reuse. But I think for now, we're just going to try and see if we can do this. Alright, so we can actually slap a wheel onto that corner. So let's grab a wheel from, well, from this corner of this car. I think this one should do. Yeah, we could have actually brought our own wheels with as well, but I forget, well, since we've got this deal with Ray, we might as well get some extra parts and stuff. Okay, so that should be this corner sorted. Let's have a look at this leaf spring back here. Is that... I think that looks okay. That should still kind of work. Alright, so let's lower it back down on this side. Just see what's the story. I think this tire just needs a little bit of air. It might not hold air for very long, but we just need it to be kind of, you know, a little bit better than completely flat as it is now. Alright, let's just air it up until it doesn't seem to lift anymore. I think that's good. Alright, and then now we can move over to the other side and see what we can do over there. Alright, there is another wheel inside here. Alright, so this is probably going to go over to the other side. I see that looks like the hub carrier and all that is on that. Okay, on this side it looks okay. Let's just jack this thing up a bit on this corner. Well, it's going to lift the whole side of the car here, but it's fine. Alright, so this leaf spring is a little bit toast, and I think we can probably take one off of the Chevelle next door. Alright, let me just turn off the torch. It's a little bit blinding bright. Alright, we'll just take this off. Just set it down there for now, and then we can grab... I think we'll grab this one. Alright, we should be able to get this off. Alright, let's move this over to the Dodge Charger that we just bought, so I think that'll hopefully sit a little bit better. Okay, we just got to air that tire up as well. And I think I'm just going to slap this back onto here for what it's worth, just so that it stays put. Alright, so this tire needs a little bit of air, and then we'll have to figure out something with this real quick. Do we have... yeah, we've got the lower control arm here, which is pretty much what we need. Alright, let's grab this. Get that bolted onto here. Okay, then that would at least kind of stay put. We've got an upper control arm as well, just to stabilize things a bit. Just grab this. Slap this onto here. Yeah, that's not really going to hold very long, is it? But that's okay. It doesn't really need to. And now we can try and put this back on, this hub carrier, and that way we've got 4 wheels on this car. Alright, let's just bolt it down there, and yeah, doesn't really matter. We don't really need the brakes to be working. This torsion bar is kind of toast on that side. Let's just see if we can swap it out with a different one. You know, just give us a bit of a better chance at getting this thing loaded up. Alright, so this car is going to go onto the ramp truck. Okay, let's just pop this into this side for now. And then we'll pop out this one, which looks a little bit better. Yeah, that should make it look a little bit more level. Alright, so now, let's see if we lower this thing down, if it actually kind of sits. Yeah, we just need to air up the tires a little bit now. Now, I think we'll be fine. Alright, let's do this one. Alright, so over to this one. We're just going to air this thing up all the way. Alright, I think that should do the trick. So at least now the car is kind of sitting a little bit, you know, level-ish. It's not perfect, but I think we'll be able to manage this now. Alright, so handbrake loose. And now I think let's get our trailer disconnected for now. See if we can get the charger up onto the ramp truck here. It's going to take a little bit of time to load everything, but I'm pretty sure we will manage this, and that's going to hopefully stay put. Alright, let's get our ramp truck into position, more or less. Make it a little bit easier for us to get the car loaded up nice and straight. And we must just keep an eye on our trailer, because I don't know if that's going to stay put. It might actually, you know, roll down the hill, which would not be great. Alright, and let's back it up a little bit here. We can go forward a bit. And let's see if we can actually line up with this thing. Okay, just like that. I think that should do. Alright, let's turn this thing off. And let's get to loading this thing up. So first time we are using this thing, well, at the junkyard. So I'm sure this is going to work. Alright, let's just grab this. Alright, hopefully this car's got a place to hook it up. It does over there. Alright, let's just take it nice and easy. Okay. Is that coming along? Is it... yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a problem if this thing isn't perfectly lined up. So let's just try and rectify this. Alright, push it back forward a little bit more. And that way. Yeah, this is going to be kind of tricky because the angle is a bit weird. And every time you push a corner, the other corner stays put. So you have to kind of like shimmy it over. We must be careful so that we don't run into this Chevelle over here. Alright, let's go more to the side with it. Okay, let's try this again. Right, trailer still staying put. Alright, get that onto there. And now we're going to start winching again. Let's see what happens. Well, here she comes. Whoa, okay. And that's also yanking the ramp truck a little bit. But I think we'll get it on eventually. I just gotta take it nice and easy. Holy crap, that thing is bouncy. Yeah, shock absorbers aren't absorbing the shock as they should. Alright, come on, we are on. We are on. Now we just gotta take it easy. Alright, let's see. Alright, you know what? I think I'm gonna play it safe. We're just gonna put the handbrake on for a second. Just try this. Oh, toolbox. Just put the toolbox there. Okay, I think that is as good as it's gonna get, guys. I don't know if we should really try and push it on more. I think it's fine. I just hope the handbrake holds it there. Okay, so that's the first car loaded, and we've got all of the parts and stuff inside of it still that is currently coming with the car, so I guess we'll be fine. Let's just put our floor jack there for now, and now we need to get our truck into a position so that we can actually get the sedan, or well, the wagon loaded, which is going to be, well, hopefully not as bad. Let's just try and do it like this. Right, so the wagon is just over there, so let's just sit down. Alright. Yeah, this is kind of, I don't know if it's really that exciting for an episode for you guys to be watching me load vehicles up and down, but I guess it's kind of what we need to do. And this ramp truck is not going to get up there now. I think it's just way too low and too heavy. So let's see if we can manage this somehow. It's got to be some way for us to sort this out. Alright, let's push the trailer up onto here on the platform. And I'm thinking maybe I need to try and see if I can shift this Chevelle over a bit. And that's probably going to end up rolling over if I push it too hard. Let's just spin it around this way. Alright, we need to just pick this up and chuck it inside the car there. Alright. That is now kind of out of the way. Alright, now it's going to be a matter of trying this. Yeah, we actually need to get this thing hooked up to the ramp truck, guys. This is going to be the best way to do this. So we'll get it hooked up there. I don't know what to do here, if I should move this forward or what. Is this thing going to lift up even high enough? Let's see how this is going to work. Alright, lift it up all the way. I think that's as high as it'll go. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it over that hump. Alright, let's push this thing. Yeah, absolutely no rear suspension on this thing, so I wonder if we shouldn't try and pull it from the front, because the front has got the wheels on at least. Yeah, we'll just spin it around this way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. This is it's tricky. This is going to be tricky. Yeah, that's going to cause some issues. It's catching on there. You know what? Let's just see something here. Alright, we will hopefully find some springs from that BMW E3 that's going to fit that thing. Alright, let's just see if we take this out. Okay, there it goes. It just flew out. Some ideas. I just want to see if I can lift this front end up a little bit. This doesn't have a lower control arm. That's a bit of a bummer. How about this side? Okay, we can get it a little bit higher on that side. Okay, this might help. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is I think my angle is just a little bit off as well, and also the way that the truck is parked now, it's kind of not lifted up all the way properly. Alright, but let's see what happens. Yep, we're just going to be pushing everything all together, yeah. Yeah, that's not a good idea. Alright, well, I'm kind of out of ideas now. Let me see what I can figure out here, guys. So, after a little bit of pushing and shunting and a whole lot of sweating, guys, we've got this thing loaded. I don't know how well it is loaded, but I'm thinking we should be fine. Just gotta take it easy when we drive back to our workshop now. I really would have liked to put it a little bit more forward on the trailer, but yeah, it's not ideal. But okay, I think let's just jump in. We're going to drive over to the workshop and we'll just be sure to take it nice and easy. So I guess let's hit the road and see how this goes. I will put this in a little bit of a time lapse again. If anything happens, then I'll bring you guys back up to speed, and then we will try and just sort out the situation. Do we have our jack loaded? I think we do. Well, if it's not on the truck, then we are probably leaving it here. We can come and get it later, but I just really want to get these cars back to the workshop now. And yeah, well, let's see what happens, guys. Alright, so guys, I just wanted to hop out quickly and see if everything is still right back there, because can't really see the trailer behind me. And I think we are good. Yeah, the car's still coming along, the charger is still sitting nicely on the ramp, and yeah, we've got our jack over there. So let's just hop back in and make our way back to the workshop all the way, hopefully without any issues. And yeah, I'll catch up to you guys once we get there. Well, here we are. We made it, guys. I think that is a successful collection from the junkyard, although it took me quite a bit of a hot minute to get everything loaded. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start by offloading this car first of all. Let's put the handbrake up so that this thing doesn't move about as much, but it's going to do its own thing, you know. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a tricky one, getting this thing off, but let's see how it goes, guys. We gotta make a plan. Let me hop in here and see if I can. I'm gonna have to put a little bit of more muscle into this. There we go. All right, that is off. And what in the hell is this? Is that the? Oh, that's the drive shaft for this car. I wonder if that was catching somewhere. Causing a little bit of trouble. And look at this thing bounce. It's like a lowrider. Yeah, those shocks are tired. Alright, well. And look at the state of our number plate. Oh my goodness, that is hectic. Yeah, that definitely took a little bit of damage. But we were weighed down pretty heavily, guys. So I'm just glad we didn't have a lot more damage. Alright, let's just put the trailer here for now, and I need to get this car off because I think this is going to turn into a disaster. I mean, look at that. That is crazy. How can it still be bouncing? Alright, I need to get this thing out of the way because I'm going to let that thing just roll down. Alright, how the heck am I going to do this? Alright, let's do this. We've got a seat in here. We'll sit down. And let's loosen the handbrake for what it's worth. There we go. Is it rolling? No, it ain't rolling. So we're going to have to give it a little bit of a push here. Almost as if it's stuck on something. Alright, I'm going to have to improvise here a little bit. Alright, folks, so yeah, I just called up Finn to come and help me. I gave him $100 and he helped me push this thing off of the ramp truck. And we got it pushed all the way over here. So yeah, big shout out to Finn for coming out here and just giving us a hand with this thing real quick. So yeah, this is our new project, a Dodge Charger from, I think, 1968 or 69, I'm not sure. I'm sure you guys will help me write in the comment section. So this thing is going to be restored eventually. We are going to try and see if we can first of all sell our, Dodge Challenger that we just finished. And I think what I'm going to do, since we've got a little bit of time left for today's episode, is see if we can start tearing into the little sedan. And I don't know where exactly I want to put this wagon. I think we're going to have to try and see if I can push this thing around the back. It doesn't have suspension at the back, which is going to make it a little bit tricky to do this. And we're just going to see if we can sit it maybe nice and out of the way. Alright, and then we're going to be cutting parts off of this car and transferring it over to the sedan and back and forth. And just, figuring out what is usable and what needs to be replaced rather. So let's see if we can push this over here. Alright, so yeah, I think this is fine. It'll be okay over here. I don't want to take up a parking space really. I think that's nice and out of the way. Okay, so let's get this thing parked up first of all, the ramp truck. And then we will see if, I don't know which way to go with the sedan. Maybe we should go to the two-post lift. Although this is actually going to give us a little bit more space to work with. So I'm thinking maybe I must move this engine stand. Let me get my toolbox. Yeah, I think we'll pull the car in on this side. And I'll just want to maybe move that lift out of the way. I don't know. It might be fine. Let's just see. Because this car still drives. Alright, let's just put it inside the shop on the lift and then we'll see. Yeah, this thing actually makes quite a bit of power, guys. So I paid the insurance company only $4,000 for this thing. They paid the guy out quite a bit more because this thing was worth a lot more money. Alright, I don't know if we're going to have enough space to work on it here. So let's try this. If this doesn't work, we will try and move it rather. But I think the engine stand, we can move that out of the way. Alright, let's grab the toolbox real quick. And I think let's leave the ramp truck out for now, because it's going to be a little bit easier to work here with the space if we need it. Alright, let's just do this quickly. I'm a little bit worried about this. Yeah, I totally wrecked my license plate here at the back, guys. It's a bit of a bummer. But okay, now we know it's doable. We can do it, but it's not the best. For us to try and tow two cars at once. It's quite a bit challenging. Alright, so I think let's dive into this, see what can be cut off, what is good, what is bad. I don't even know where to start, so we're just going to start somewhere, and do what we think. Alright, there's the old quarter panel. Very badly mangled. Trunk floor, everything. What else do we have in here? We've got the old license plate. There's the wheel spacer, probably from this corner, because we've got the spare tire on there. Alright, well, let's just keep cutting. And see what comes off and what is good and what is bad and what is, salvageable. We've got a good taillight on here, but the wagon uses a different taillight, so we'll probably have to buy some new taillights. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's the center cap for one of the alloy wheels. It's probably for that one. We'll just put it on there. But the other wheel is completely destroyed, so I don't even see it in the car. Alright, and let's cut this trunk floor off. Well, the gas tank may have survived. Yeah, the gas tank looks okay. This is not so bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not terrible. Well, let's just see what else needs to be stripped off. We'll probably have to remove the whole rear axle here by the looks of it, which is doable. I think let's maybe do it that way rather. Let's get some jack stands. Okay, we're going to need our floor jack yet again. Or the low jack. Yeah, floor jack, low jack, whatever you'd like to call it. Yeah, this thing works like a charm. Alright, so let's see here. Get some jack stands under this thing. There we go. That's the one side. Might have to go down a little bit for this to fit on this side. Okay, let's lift that up. Pop that into there. Alright, so that is rear axle now lifted. So let's see if we can take it off. Alright, yeah, there's a... Holy crap, look at this. Look how bent this rear arm is, guys. I've never in my life seen this. Okay, so that is quite bad. Okay, shock absorbers. Well, okay. That comes off with that. Alright, that's quite interesting. Alright, this wheelhouse is so badly mangled. Yeah, let's just put all of the mangled parts there for now. We are going to be selling this off to Steve's pawn shop probably. I don't think we're going to make a lot of money out of these parts because they are all pretty bad. Some parts seem to have survived, like the shock absorber and the lower arm is still intact somewhat. Alright, let's go under here. Undo that from the drive shaft, and then let's do this, that, and I think what else is still tightened down here? This arm over there. Okay, there's the whole axle. Alright, let's take the axle over here. I think the axle survived. Yeah, I don't see any damage to the axle. I think the hub maybe got a little bit whacked on that side. This side still seems good, so it's not terrible. I mean, this thing definitely took quite a bit of a hit on this corner. But we are going to try our best in fixing this up. And, yeah, just figure out what is what. Right, there's our middle floor. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, not a whole lot left of that. There is a little suspension arm on here that we can take off, which also looks like it survived. Yeah, see, that's still good. Alright, so let's take this shock absorber off. That's also still in good condition by the looks of it. So yeah, not too bad. I think we really scored a nice bargain buying this thing off of the insurance company. Is that the wheelhouse? Yeah, that wheelhouse out. This one may have actually survived, but I don't know if they are the same on the wagon and the sedan. They might be. I don't know. Alright, as for the trunk panel, yeah, this is all going to have to come off for our wagon conversion. Yeah, that's bad. And the trunk is actually inside the car, which, yeah, you can clearly see that definitely took quite a big hit. And there's also the window louver here, which is, yeah, it's trashed. Alright, so let's continue cutting parts off of this thing. There's a whole lot to go through. And I think the rear doors on the wagon and on the sedan are not the same. Alright, this is a good quarter panel. Still looks decent. So the doors on the wagon and the sedan are different. As I said, this, let's have a look at this real quick. You see this rounding over there by the quarter glass. I think the wagon's door has got a more square type design. But fortunately we do have got the rear doors for the wagon. Yeah, see, that's a little bit more squared off there. So I'm thinking this will work out pretty well, guys. We're just going to cut everything off relevant to the sedan. And just try and sort it out from there. I might have to buy some new trunk floor, well, some floor panels, because the floor panels on this car may have taken quite a bit of damage here. We can see that there, along with this door and the roof and all that. I think the roof rack, I don't know if the roof rack is still straight, because this would actually look pretty nice on the wagon as well, I think, if we can reuse this. So let's go and test this quickly. Let's just bring this over to the wagon. I'm just a little bit curious now about this. Yeah, see, it looks like it's bent a little bit there, unless... I think that's the way that it's designed, to actually go like that. Alright, so the roof rack will kind of work. Alright, but yeah, I'm just messing around now. Let's see if we can take the roof off of that car. Alright, so where's our plasma cutter handle? There it is. Okay, let's chop this roof off now. Alright, chop it there. Over there, and then we need to cut on the B pillars on both sides here at the top. And that is the roof free. Okay. Yeah, definitely not too bad of a job to take this off. I'm just going to leave it here for now. Alright, so what else do we need to cut off as such? This floor pan on this side may have taken some damage. I don't know if it's going to be fixable. Let's just see. Might be able to salvage this. Even the rocker panel, we can beat that straight a little bit. So, yeah, this car isn't that badly mangled back here. Well, from here, I mean, from here to the back, it was actually trashed. Yeah, actually, the damage spreads a little bit further than what you'd expect. But we'll go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, as they say. Just see if we can sort that all out. I think that is looking good. Alright, so now let me try and see if we can take out this back seat, which is bad. And these doors also need to come off. Alright, let's hop in here. Can we actually get to these bolts? They are... yeah, a little bit tricky to get to now, seeing as this whole thing is bangled up. Right, so there's the driver's side rear door. The window lifter may have survived. We'll have to check that out. On this side, it should be a little bit better. Let me just get this back seat. Oh, there's the other taillight as well in here. Okay. Oh, that's... yeah, that's broken. It's to be expected. Alright, the back seat is also bad. Yeah, I think this wagon that we are trying to build here is going to become a nice little parts hauler as well. If ever we decide to get rid of the F100 and want to go a little bit more economical with the whole procedure of putting this thing to work. I don't know. We'll see. This door is still fine. Alright, so that is everything damaged off of the sedan. So I kind of really want to see if that roof on the wagon is going to fit here. So we're going to have to go and cut that off. Let me just get my plasma cutter together. Alright, let's go and cut the roof off of the wagon. And then we will see what it looks like, I guess. Because I don't know what else we need to change on it. This front corner there might have a little bit of damage. And I think this tailgate is going to come with it. So we'll get a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Alright, yeah, the tailgate is coming with. And this is quite heavy. Alright, let's just see if we can get this onto the car here. And that is looking kind of weird the way that it sits now, but... alright, let's just put this down on one side for now, because we're going to have to strip the other panels and stuff off of the wagon first, but... I think we should maybe look at getting the, the floors and stuff mounted at the back first before attempting that. But at least we know it's going to fit. And we need to go and cut off the rear panel and such. Let's just do a little bit of an inspection on the wagon here. What is going on with it. Yeah, you see this, this trunk floor is trash. This middle floor... yeah, it's also trash because that's where the... yeah, that's where that mounts to. Alright, I don't know. It's actually hard to tell. But okay, yeah, I don't think it's worth cutting this thing up further. We need to just get this rear panel off where the bumper is mounted. See if we can sort that out. There's our plasma cutter handle here now. Okay, so let's cut this thing off. And obviously the quarter panels also need to come off. Alright, let's cut everything off that we need. Everything that I think we will need, most probably. So there's our rear panel. Alright, yeah, our yard is a total mess. Alright, so this won't go on now because we don't have the trunk floor on that. But I think the quarter panels might go on. And then I might actually feel comfortable in putting the roof on. So if we cut the quarter panels off. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Alright, well. Let's see how this works. Okay, what is keeping this quarter panel in? Is it just this? And there's probably nothing else. Okay. It's just over here. There should be a weld. Yeah, there we go. Quarter panels are off. Okay, let me just pick this up. Alright, put that there. Let's grab this quarter panel. Alright, so this quarter panel needs to go onto the wheelhouse, I think. So that's not going to work just yet. Unless if the roof goes on first. Yeah, because I don't think this actually welds to... Yeah, it actually would. Okay. Alright, let's just put that back onto there. Alright, where's my wrench? I just need to disconnect the battery real quick, guys. Because otherwise we're going to end up burning the electronics. Frying all of the electronics in this thing. So, okay. Come on. Just get in here. Alright, we'll just take it off completely. Alright, let's see if we weld that thing into place. I must just remember where I put the wrench on the table now. Okay, if this thing is going to stay put or if it's going to break off. Because at least it is supported on the B-pillar there. And seeing as the welds lined up perfectly, it means we are kind of good. Alright, let's do this. And there. And now we can just do a little bit of checking up on that corner at the front. Because this is where the wagon was damaged. But I think it's fine. We will fix it up with a little bit of Bondo. This door also is fixable. So yeah, there's going to be still quite a lot of work to do to this thing. But I think we are already making good progress. Just by doing this, guys. This is not that bad. Alright, where's our welding machine? Just take this over here. Alright, is there anything we can weld? We can weld it to there. Alright, I'm a little bit more comfortable in letting this thing sit like this now at least. Alright, so let's go and grab the other quarter panel, and then I don't know if the rear panel would go on. It might. Yeah, I think we will be able to get this thing on. Alright, let's bring this inside. And get it welded into place where we can. Yeah, look at that. Right, weld it up there. And also, I think that is it for now. Yeah, now we need to get this rear panel on here. Just kind of stabilize the whole thing again. Alright, I would call that a win, guys. We've got this thing sort of in one piece again. It's starting to almost look like a car again. Luckily, we do have got these quarter windows as well. This one, yeah, it's just a little bit dirty, but it's there. Alright, so now, let's get our doors. Yeah, the wrench is on the table. We'll get our doors from the wagon, because the sedan's doors won't work. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and grab these doors. And see how this works. Alright, so this is the driver's side. Alright, can we get this bolted up? Yeah, I think this B pillar needs a little bit of love, but it's not too bad. This door is a little bit rusty, but it's fixable. Alright, let's go and grab the other wagon door. Alright, this one over here. Alright, so this is going to go onto the passenger side. And then this little sedan that was wrecked is already looking like a wagon. Just going to buy some new floor pans rather. Oh, come on, would you just go on there? And I think this is going to sort this car out in no time, guys. We might even have some decent interior panels and stuff that we can strip off of these doors. I don't know. That one is a little bit shot. So we'll see. But I think even this door panel on the inside works. This might work on that door. If we can just get it off. There we go. Yeah, because I think these are the same. Yeah, would you look at that? So the door panels are the same, but the door itself is not the same. We are missing this little quarter glass there, but I'm pretty sure we'll find it. And on this side we are missing all the glass, which is kind of Murphy's Law, because that's the side that we lost a little bit of the parts on this, but I think it'll be fine. Let's just take that off. That's the broken door card. Holy crap, look at this thing. Yeah, that's bad. But this lifter, as I said, this lifter might be okay. Let's just see. Yeah, the window lifter is fine. So this car was actually in pretty good condition. Even this lifter works. So yeah, we don't really need to worry about that. But yeah, this car was actually in pretty good condition when it got into the accident. So it was definitely taken care of and loved by this guy. Alright, this is our window lifter for the other side. And I think these windows are the same. I'm not too sure. Let's just check this out. And I'm kind of just getting an idea of what parts are good, because this door lifter is bad on this side, or window lifter is bad on this side. It's broken. And I think this will fit. Yeah, this should fit. We'll check it out here in a second. Nope. Even that is not the same. So you guys can see there's like a little rounding in even the main window. Alright, so this can stay. We just need to transfer the glass over to it. Alright, so that is a different window than this window. And who would have guessed? Alright, which is a good thing I noticed this now. Otherwise, I would have ordered the wrong window for the opposite side. So, yeah, quite happy about that, guys. So, yeah, that is going to be probably where I end today's episode. It's been quite a adventurous day, yet again. And I've got a lot of stuff to sort out and a bunch of parts that I need to order. And we'll get this thing running in no time, guys. This is going to be a pretty quick job. As I mean, clearly we just started today and we can already see that the thing is taking shape. And it's not going to be much longer than this car is also going to be ready to be sold. And yeah, as for whatever's left of the wagon over here, I was thinking we might actually do something with this eventually. So this is probably just going to be pushed to the side here along with the old cab and truck bed over there. So we'll see how this works out, guys. But yeah, that is going to be where I end today's episode. So thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate every view, every like. And I also had to ask, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. And then I will see you all in the next one. So cheerio for now.